The repeated fall of Western civilization, Part 1. Consider these aspects of Rome's decay. They strike the ears frighteningly analogous as the modern U.S. headlines. Michael Grant, the great classicist, built on the work of Sir Edward Gibbon and others to describe and explain the fall of Western Roman Empire. Considering Dr. Grant's analysis, 4 major themes seem pertinent and prescient for current Western civilization. Number 1. The Romans fell because the state became antagonistic toward the people. All free peoples of the empire, and especially small property owners, became so overburdened by taxes that they could no longer effectively contribute as part of the commonwealth of society. Further, depopulation made for a weaker labor force and consequently lower tax revenues generated from overwhelmed citizens paying at ever higher rates. The government gutted the middle class by controlling the territory with an increasingly tighter fist, restricting construction work via regulation and the afore-mentioned massive tax burden. Further, local authority increasingly eroded and replaced federal hegemony, reducing local interest in service or paying taxes. The middle class rebelled, yet ineffectively, and the government removed the middle class's personal property rights. Finally, owners of local property were forced against their will to serve as city councilors. In reality, they were merely agents of increasingly federal bureaucracy. Desperate to keep city councilors at their posts, the 4th century emperors forbade the sale of property or travel abroad without imperial permission, as Grant summarizes. One of the main reasons why the collapse occurred was because the free people population, which had to provide most of the imperial revenue, was so severely ravaged by these tax demands that it could not pay up any longer and in consequence ceased to be free at all. So that scarcely a trace of any viable commonwealth survived. And the empty husk of a community which alone remained could no longer resist the invaders. Michael Grant from The Fall of the Roman Empire. Now more. Rome could and should have learned from the positive and negative examples of earlier cultures. For example, knowing the human tendency to overtax property owners, Moses commanded that one not be partial to the poor man, from Exodus 23:3. Another Hebraic example comes in 1 Kings 12. Which displays the folly of a government that ignores the cries of the overtaxed. Likewise, America and the West, we should be learned from Rome. If one cannot see the relation to modern America today, one must be blind. For example, in one-third of a generation, the U.S. has moved from the middle of the world pack in corporate taxes to the most heavily taxed climate in the world. Personal property rights are also regularly eroded, both under forfeiture laws and originally intended to fight crime, and in the ever-expanding greater good application of courts. Thank you.